She is often described as the visual angel of the new K-pop generation. Camera flashes capture her flawless smile, her precise dance movements, and her warm vocal tone. Pharita of BABYMONSTER. On stage, everything about her appears controlled, curated, and guarded. But there is one platform where that control seems to loosen, a digital space where the carefully crafted persona meets the individual behind it. Recent data, as of November 21, reveals a startling fact. Among all the members of BABYMONSTER, Pharita is the most active in speaking, sharing, and being present. With over 14,400 posts on the platform X, she is not merely a member of the group, she is the architect of her own narrative. The pressing question is, in an industry where every tweet can become a landmine and every post can be misconstrued, why is it Pharita, the member often associated with a quiet and elegant demeanor, who is the most vocal in the digital realm? Is this merely a clever personal branding strategy, a form of creative expression, or a clue to a larger shift within the group's and the agency's dynamics? This is not just about the number 14.4 thousand. It is about a voice that has chosen not to remain silent. To understand the significance of Pharita's digital crown, we must take a step back. BABYMONSTER, the group born from the entertainment behemoth YG Entertainment, carries the weight of a formidable legacy. They are the successors to Blackpink. Since their pre-debut days, they have been under an intense microscope, facing immense pressure. Each member was meticulously selected, polished, and prepared to be the best. In this constellation of rising stars, each member brings their unique color. Chiquita with her youthful energy, Aehyun with her leadership aura and all-around talent, Ruka with her experience as the leader, and Rora with her vocal charm. So where does Pharita fit in? Public narrative often places her as the main visual and a stable supporting vocal. A crucial role, yet often a passive one. The image built for her is one of elegance, grace, and a touch of mystery. Yet the data from Talkwalker paints a different picture. That figure of 14.4 thousand posts did not appear overnight. It is the accumulation of a consistency, a need to connect that runs far deeper than many realize. She leads not by a small margin. The gap is significant compared to the second most active member, Chiquita, who has 12.4 thousand posts. This indicates a pattern, a conscious choice. While other members may be more selective or focus on other platforms like Instagram or Weverse, Pharita has made X her primary channel for dialogue. So what exactly is she saying behind those 14.4 thousand digital utterances? This brings us to the core of the matter and where the true twist in this story begins to unfold. What we find behind the curtain of these posts is more than just daily updates. We find the traces of a personal journey, an attempt to redefine her identity, and perhaps a quiet message intended for the world. Returning to our investigation, let us dissect the anatomy of Pharita's 14.4 thousand posts. An analysis of her activity patterns reveals several key categories that form her digital narrative. First, there is measured intimacy. A significant portion of her posts are candid backstage photos, shots in the studio, or even at home. These are not highly glamorous photos, but rather in-between moments. A picture of a book she's reading, a cup of tea in the afternoon, a view of the sky from her window. This is an intelligent effort to create closeness without having to lay her entire life bare. She shares a mood, not just an action. Second, direct fan communication. Pharita frequently replies to fans' tweets, sometimes just with a heart emoji, other times with words of encouragement. In the economy of K-pop attention, such replies are a valuable currency. It makes fans feel seen and valued, ultimately creating a fanbase that is personally more loyal to Pharita, transcending their loyalty to the group. And the third and most intriguing category, subtle creative expression. Observe closely. She often shares snippets of lyrics, not from BABYMONSTER songs, but from international artists like Taylor Swift, Adele, or Love. The lyrics she chooses are often reflective, dealing with struggle, hope, or vulnerability. A simple caption like, "This part," with a link to the song. What does this mean? This is a form of coded communication, a way to convey her feelings without having to state them directly. When she shares lyrics about getting through a tough time, she is building an emotional bridge between herself and fans who might be feeling the same. She is not complaining, but she is showing empathy and shared experience. This is the twist. Pharita's high level of personal digital activity is without risk, and herein lies the hidden conflict. We spoke with a K-pop industry analyst who requested anonymity due to ongoing relationships with agencies. YG Entertainment is famous for its mystery strategy, the analyst stated. They limit artists' exposure on social media to create an aura of scarcity and exclusivity. Just look at Blackpink's model. What Pharita is doing, while not openly breaking rules, exists outside of YG's traditional playbook. She is writing her own handbook. This can be seen as an act of self-empowerment, but behind the scenes, it must be generating conversations or even tension with her management team. Is this a sign that the new generation of YG artists is demanding more freedom of expression? The implications are multi-layered. First, for Pharita herself, this forges a strong and self-sufficient personal brand. She is no longer just the visual of BABYMONSTER, but Pharita, the reflective and warm individual. This is an insurance policy for her long-term career, both within and beyond the group. Second, for BABYMONSTER, Pharita's activity serves as a powerful magnet for engagement. She draws attention to the group in her own unique way. But it also has the potential to create an attention inequality within the group, which could foster complex dynamics in the long run. And third, and most broadly, for the K-pop industry, this pattern signals a shift. It marks a move away from artists who are entirely managed by their agencies, towards artists who are taking control of their own narrative. Pharita, perhaps unintentionally, is becoming a pioneer in this movement under the notoriously rigid umbrella of YG Entertainment. Therefore, when we see the number 14.4 thousand, we are no longer looking at a mere statistic. We are looking at a strategy, a quiet rebellion, an effort to remain human within the cogs of a giant entertainment machine. But one major question remains. How is the world reacting to this voice that has finally chosen to speak up?
The echo has been heard. Pharita's choice to be the most active on X has not been met with universal approval. Our investigation into the digital landscape reveals a polarized spectrum of reactions. On one side, her supporters, who call themselves Pharizlis, see this as a blessing. To them, Pharita is a relatable, genuine, and sincere idol. Every tweet reply is a treasure. Every lyric quote is a secret conversation. They feel they have a deeper connection with her than the typical fan-idol relationship. This creates a fan base that is fanatical and fiercely protective. On the other side, her critics question her motives. Some perceive it as attention-seeking or an attempt to stand out among the 6 other members. In a K-pop culture that emphasizes group harmony, any individual deviation is often viewed with suspicion. Others worry that her high level of activity risks causing a scandal or being misinterpreted, a valid concern in an industry that often consumes its own. Yet most telling are the reactions from her fellow members. While there have been no official statements, observing their online interactions reveals a compelling dynamic. Members like Chiquita or Ruka will occasionally like or reply to Pharita's tweets, showing quiet support and a good relationship. However, in a reviewed group interview, when asked which member is most often online, their eyes instantly darted toward Pharita, followed by slightly nervous laughter, a nonverbal cue that spoke louder than words. And where is YG Entertainment in all of this? Silent. There has been no statement, no praise, no reprimand. Their silence can be interpreted in two ways, as a form of tacit approval or as indifference as long as no contracts are breached. Yet within the famously high walls of YG, silence is often the loudest answer. Despite the debate, the data speaks for itself. The engagement rates for both Pharita and BABYMONSTER as a whole on Platform X show a positive trend. Pharita has successfully created a niche that ultimately benefits the group's brand. She has proven that in the modern digital economy, measured authenticity can be an immensely valuable commodity. So what does all this mean for the future of Pharita and BABYMONSTER? Pharita has, with her 14.4 thousand digital steps, opened a door that might not be easily closed. She has demonstrated that an idol can be more than just a product of an agency. She can be the author, director, and star of her own narrative. The future will answer these pivotal questions. Will other members of BABYMONSTER follow her lead, creating a group where every member possesses a strong and independent digital voice? Or will Pharita remain the sole beacon on X, shining brightly but alone? And most critically, will other agencies take a lesson from the case of Pharita, that perhaps the secret to cultivating fan loyalty in the modern era is not to hide the idol, but to allow them to shine in their own light? Guided, of course, by wise and strategic counsel. Pharita may have won the battle for attention today, but the real war, for identity, for autonomy, and for the future of the relationship between artist and agency in the K-pop industry, has only just begun.